Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. So, as you may or may not know, Brawler Bash is coming up this next weekend, and Brawler Bash has they allow for grudge matches. So Dan from the Ninth Age forums has grudge matched me. So if you don't know Dan, you really should. He's the head moderator, or probably now one of the head moderators. Uh, I think he used to be the moderator for Warseer. He's involved in a lot of the higher up things going on with the Ninth Age. He and I have got to know each other pretty well over the last year. He has a blog called The Ratmen Under Talloheim. I highly suggest you go check it out. It's freaking awesome. Basically, he took an army that could be used either as Skaven or as Empire. So if you're Skaven, they're just a bunch of rats dressed up as if they want to be Empire, and if they're Empire, this looks like men were converted into rats. Either way, it's really, really cool. And yeah, so I thought I'd do a little promo video about the game that we will have next Saturday and that will be posted the following Monday or Tuesday. So I have access, of course, to his blog, so I've seen him painting stuff for a while. He's been graciously sharing with me various iterations of his list, and when I get off my butt, will send him my list. But some things he has. I know he has a Plague Prophet, this dude. I'm assuming that's what this dude is. Although this could be his spellcaster. We're going to say it's the Plague Prophet. Doesn't matter. Anyway, he's got a level 4 Rockin' Shamanism, and then he's got a Plague Prophet that's on top of the Plague Pendulum, which really sucks. And I know that he's painted up a couple models to be the Totemic Summons. So I think a big part of his plan is I hope he doesn't get that spell just to screw up part of his plan. but it seems like a big part of his plan is trying to get those Totemic Summons up. I know he has a Tyrant with the Doomblade, and the character on the left to me looks like an assassin, but I think he took the assassin out of his list. The Doomblade guy, that's tough. Don't have many answers for him. I'd like to kill him before he swings. I'd like him to kill himself before we get into combat. I think that would be great. Yeah, he's got a BSB that gets to hide in the unit, and yet has a great weapon, so he's probably in the second rank, still getting that one supporting attack at a higher strength. Then, of course, he's got rats and rats to deal with. Clan rats, Vermin guard. He doesn't have pictures. He didn't send me pictures of his Plague Brotherhood because I think they're not done yet, because I think his older list had like 24 of them. Now he's like up to 35 or something stupid. Just awesome. Just awesome. Lots and lots of bodies to go through. These guys, I'm sure, are his meat grinders. If you don't know what these things do, basically, you can put them in units of clan rats, or at least one in there, and one can go solo, but it still gets an advantage from against shooting. And then when they hit, they either do impact hits or grinding attacks. So basically, it's going to get like 2d6 auto hit, strength 4, and I think it's AP 1. So nice little units. It seems to me that a lot of stuff in his list is very glass cannon-y. It does tremendous amount of damage for the points it costs, but then it just kind of dies relatively easily, which I think is a smart build for a Brawler Bash tournament. That's completely on the scoring is based on what you kill. It's not based on the differential between what you and kill what your opponent kills. I'm assuming this is the Plague Catapult. Doesn't look much like a catapult, but I can't imagine what else this would be in his list. That thing is BS if you have knights on the table, any kind of armor. I'm assuming these are his the weapons teams with 2d6 or 3d6 strength 4 AP 1, I think, shots. Yeah, and of course he's got the obligatory Hell Pit Abomination. And if one is good, two is better. I love this one. This is a great, great model. I mean, if you're playing Skaven, you just say, look, this is my Hell Pit Abomination, or my whatever it is now, the Abomination. And if you play an Empire, boom, you've got a steam tank. So fantastic, fantastic conversions in this army. Great painting. These are his gutter runners. I think the way it is now, he has one of them ambushing and one of them that's vanguarding. The ambushing ones are just kind of a pain. They're so small they can fit into a lot of different areas. Then he's got 3 units of these peckerheads. I don't know if there's 5 or 6 per unit, but he's got 3, and I think he puts one in front of each of his main blocks. And basically, they have 1 attack each, but they have frenzy, and then they get this extra because of their weapon that when you get into combat, they get an initiative 10 auto hit with toxic attacks, and then of course they have their 2 regular attacks each. And then they're you hit them one easier and they die easily. But like I said, they're just glass cannons. So I don't remember when the Grudge actually happened, but I've been working on Brawler Bash since January 1. It's actually, for being honest, has been a little bit stressful for me because I decided to take an army that's never been usable before. I've been collecting on and off my Undying Dynasties armies for several years now, many years now. And finally I just bit the bullet and said, you know what, I'm going to put it together and paint it. And I've got 2.5 months, 3 months to do it in. And it's been a little bit stressful. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. This is my, my Arc of Ages with the Hierophant on top. Obviously, you can see it's kind of been kit bashed from a Games Workshop Skaven kit, from a Games Workshop Vampire Counts kit, and then a bunch of kit bashing, just a bunch of different models thrown in there. Really happy with how it turned out. These guys, I've got, of course, the obligatory Necro Guard. This picture, you can't really tell. I don't know. It took me a long time to paint. Things that may or may not have made the final list, but I've got a bunch of monsters painted up. Actually, this is these were works in progress at the time of this picture, but got some cool miniatures from Tabletop Miniature Solutions in Poland, and painted up to where it's kind of a marbly look. This is not quite finished. Still need to highlight the metal on this one, but I went for kind of a marble-ish look to these constructs. Anyway, months and months, and literally almost 3 months of work, and then my fantastic son decided he wanted to get back into this hobby. So the picture on the left is him back when he used to play this hobby. He was 10 years old. He used to play dwarfs and sometimes high elves, and actually was pretty good for a little kid. Now he's off to college, but he goes to school where I teach, so we see each other quite a bit. And he got over his coolness and decided that he wasn't too cool to play the Ninth Age, and said he'd go to Brawler Bash, even though he's only played a few games. He's going to catapult somebody up to the top tables, I think. So, but he wanted to play my Undying Dynasties. So all the months of work that I put into it for this tournament just flew out the window, and I'm handing it off to him 90% done. So by this point, a week or two ago, I realized that their Grudge is going to be there, and I'm not taking my Undying Dynasties army. So I decided to go back to my roots and bring out the Kingdom of Equitan. And I kind of, with a buddy, kind of designed a list that we thought might do okay at a Brawler Bash scenario. It doesn't do particularly well against Vermin Swarm, and that's a problem. But whatever. I think it'll be fun. I may or may not post my list ahead of time, but I can tell you it's led by a character on a Pegasus with his buddy, another character on a Pegasus, because I like the mobility of it. And I think what Kingdom of Equitan does well is they can build some really good, really cool character combos. And I thought I'd take advantage of that. I've had the obligatory Battle Standard Bearer. I've got a Spellcaster, because actually, despite what some people say, that Magic isn't worth taking, I think currently I like where Magic is at, because it's good enough that if you don't have it and you play against it, you realize how good it can be. But yet it's not so good that you actually can have a list without it. And if you look at my list, you've seen me play with and without Magic quite a bit over the last year. But I'm taking her for this game. And of course I've got Knights. Not as many as you might think, but certainly got a bunch of Errantry Knights coming. And I decided to pull out these bad boys. They haven't seen the light of day for so long. Knights of the Quest. I actually want to go back and repaint this. There's a good idea for conversions here, but sometimes I wasn't careful enough. But it is what it is. And then because I have characters flying around, I thought I'd bring some Pegasus knights to fly around. So it's not really a flying circus, and it's not quite as many knights because these are so expensive, but it's basically kind of a character-heavy, balanced army because on top of all that, I do have some peasants in the mix. And another model that has not seen the light of day for so long. What used to be the Grail Reliquary is now, I think, the Sacred Reliquary or whatever it is. Um, yeah, this was a fun model to put together. I put it together probably 10 years ago. I still love it. So it's seeing the list. And of course, we have two trebuchets because they are too good right now not to take. So these are some other things that Dan painted up. This is actually one model. Let me do another one here. Basically, we decided that whoever wins gets a trophy. So he painted up a dude that is ready to go into my hands should I win. And I grabbed a dude that is it's one of the hokiest conversions I ever did. But basically, back in the day, I felt that I had way too many Archer models that I would ever use, which is funny because I am now out of Archer models. So I converted him to be a man-at-arms, and it looks like he's holding this halberd like it's a bazooka. He reminds me of those old Green Army men, the bazooka guy. So every time I play it, I just kind of laugh because it's just so stupid. And I thought of all the things, I don't really have time to put anything together just for this trophy because I'm scrambling for time as it is. But I thought that would make a good little trophy for Dan to mount somewhere in his nerd shelf, should he win the game, or hell, I'll probably just give it to him anyway. So that's it. That is the grudge match. Dan, the Terminator moderator on the Ninth Age versus Once Bitten. Yeah, go check out his blog. It's fantastic. The Rat Men of Under Talabheim. A lot of love went into this army of his. It's going to be a shame to make him take it off the table so quickly. Anyway, that's it. Hope you look forward to and enjoy the battle report that comes up. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.